Come on in, everybody. So good to see you all.
Friends from all over.
Hey, Ken. Good to see you, buddy.
Doug's here.
Doug Lane's here. Hey, Cerise here. We're in good shape. Hey, some new friends too. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to the first of our 2026 interview series. We're so excited. Larry's here. Hey, buddy. So I was trying to figure out what to sing for y'all today, and I was reminded that my grandfather, the one who had the farm, E-I-E-I-O, well, he had about 8 records in his collection. The Norman Luboff Cowboy Choir. I'm not kidding. If you have never heard 800 guys sing Home on the Range, it's actually really beautiful. But one of the ones that I gravitated to was Nat King Cole. Y'all, this guy had a beautiful velvety fog voice, and he wasn't even Mel Torme. It was amazing. And this was the song I like the best. So I thought, just to welcome in Holy Cod tonight and welcome you all in here, the people who are not giant football fans or from the West Coast, we so appreciate you being here, that I sing something a little special. It goes like this. I was walking along, minding my business, when out of an orange-colored sky, crash, bam, alakazam, wonderful you came by. I was walking along, drinking in sunshine, when out of that orange-colored view, crash, bam, alakazam, I gotta look at you. One look and I have timber. Watch out for flying glass. Cause the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started to shout, I've been hit. This is it. This is it. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Crash, bam, alakazam, out of an orange-colored sky. One look and I am timber. Watch out for flying glass. Cause the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started to shout, I've been hit. This is it. This is it. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Crash, bam, alakazam, out of an orange-colored purple stripe, pretty green polka dot sky. Crash, bam, alakazam, out of an orange-colored sky. Yeah, that's for my beloved and anybody out there who is a little worried about the color of their sky tonight. We hope you're all staying warm and dry. And why don't we welcome in our guest of honor.
Instagram will work.
For today, come on, Instagram. You can do it. There's the man himself. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how are you guys?
Oh, we're great. We can hear you perfectly. That's great.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. I'm just relaxing in my chair. Is the lighting okay? Or should I?
It's beautiful. Yours is way more than us. We
Yeah,
look like
ours
we're
is
in a
overblown for
snowstorm
some
or
reason.
something.
Excellent, excellent.
Oh, there we go. You fixed it. Good. Well, welcome in. Where are you joining us from?
Joining you guys from New Jersey. First of all, let me say thank you for both of you. I'm honored to be on your conversation series. Happy to join you guys. Happy to talk about what we do. Happy to introduce myself to the audience and the listeners and the watchers. And I'm here to answer your questions. And, you guys are the I'm here as a guest for you, and feel free to ask me anything. And I'm not going to watch the questions while I'm talking, please. So, Sarah,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no. We'll take care of that.
Yeah, if you can just prompt me, cue me if there are any questions that I need to address. I am happy to do that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, hopefully they will use the question box and we can use that later. But
Right. So, y'all, here's why I love Street. Our very first episode day included a Holy Cow soap on our very first day, and it was New York, and it set the scene. In fact, we were only going to do one episode day a week.
Yes.
And after we smelled those first 3 soaps, we went to 2 days a week because we realized how good they were. And here's why I love this man. Because he has my same sense of humor. I wanted to get every detail so right, especially for our first few episodes. So I reached out and I said, could you please tell us, how do you pronounce WHOLLYKAW? And this man in front of you, y'all, he wrote back and he said, that's exactly it. And he said WHOLLYKAW. So I still am not entirely sure how to say it. Is there a right way to say it, or is it however anybody wants to say it?
Well, it's a good icebreaker for the conversation. It's always a question, and I'm happy to do that. It's literally, it's pronounced the way it is written. Holy Cow, K-A-W, Cow. And I tried, the roots of the story is that I tried to get HOLYCOW. That domain was taken back, I'm talking going back, 11, 12 years ago.
Okay.
Right.
So HOLYCOW.com was taken, and I'm like, I was using my creative juices, whatever that is. Looking back, I'm probably should have done a better job, but it is what it is.
Great.
No, I think
we love it.
No, there's a reason that inspired this show. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fabulous. All right, let's see.
All right. So just for our viewers who aren't as familiar with your company and its history, can you help catch them up a bit, at least how it all got started?
Sure. I'm a tinkerer by heart. I want to know how things are made. Everything from food to cosmetics to makeup products to everything that we see out in the world. I want to see how it is made. So I always want to tear apart things that I buy and figure out why certain things are added or why certain things are not added. Some of them, and then during that experiment, this I'm going back to year 2020, 2005, where I really started digging deep into nutrition, cosmetics, everyday products, and of course electronics, taking apart little phones that I used to buy, even iPod that I used to buy those days.
Love it.
And trying to see, hey, how is this whole thing fit together on a little iPod like thing, and unscrewing the whole thing and doing all of that. So that set off the whole journey into what we are doing now. And I figured very quickly, a lot of the products that we are using, this is going back before the founding of the company, is that a lot of the products that we are using in our day-to-day life, whether it's toothpaste, mouthwash, personal care products, or even food and nutrition, they're not undergone much change over the last, let's say, 60, 80 years since the World War II.
Yeah.
So whereas when we buy a phone, well, the phone gets outdated within 6 months. Why? Because there's an update, better screen, better memory, better this, better that.
Right. It's a good point.
And these guys, all of these personal care products, they don't undergo too much change or too much upgrades or advances, even though the science has advanced really pretty rapidly since that time. And therefore I said, you know what, I need to, and of course I have, coarse hair on my face. I get a 5 p.m. beard by 2 p.m. And I always used to scratch my face like that. And I hated that, but I didn't have a choice. I tried multiple things to get rid of it, lots of electric razors, nothing worked. Finally, I landed on this wet shaving thing. And then I remembered, oh yeah, this is how my grandfather used to shave.
Right.
So, long story short, I, dug deep into the cosmetic formulation science, talked to a lot of cosmetic chemists, and figured out a way, hey, we can do this better than what is out available in the market. It might take a little while. It might be a little bit more expensive because, we are not a PNG or anything like that. But basically, by asking the right questions and framing the questions in 5 different ways, I got better answers. I got more insightful answers than just saying, "Hey, we can do it better." And that's how we developed the formulation for vegan first, then branched out into donkey milk. That donkey milk, exposed me to the tallow world. And then from there, we added the water buffalo milk and the whey protein. And now I'll tell you very, very soon, we are also getting into organic ghee, the clarified butter, which I Yeah, so that's the genesis of the whole thing. So got the company incorporated back in 2012, I believe, or 2011, and got a website going, scrappy website of those days, and just got going. And 12 years later, 13 years later, we are still here.
Love it.
Wow. Now, I remember hearing the story about your origin story as a wet shaver. You would have to get up insanely early to take a 6:30 train from New Jersey into Penn Station.
That's right.
And instead of doing what most people do and want that to hurry up a little bit more, you started setting the alarm 15 minutes earlier so you could enjoy this ritual. Could you talk a little bit more about why it's important to take and the other thing that I have a question coming up, but it's in cooking and in shaving, and you said it at the beginning of this interview today, that you just enjoy finding ways to relax.
Yep.
Finding ways for the human spirit to just exhale and take in its surroundings. And so I love that in cooking and in shaving, you found that escape and that place to go. Can you talk about the decision? Like, because we're trying to get everybody in the whole world to start wet shaving. That's our mission. How did you come to that decision to get up earlier and indulge in that?
Well, I've always been an early bird. I get up at 4 a.m. Most people don't believe it. I get up at 4 a.m. now and just get my routine started, including a workout. I manage to squeeze in at least about 20, 25 minutes workout, followed by a cold shower. Even in the winter, I take cold showers. I just stand because once you work out, when I start, this is gross, but when I start to smell my own sweat, that's when I know, yep, I can get and enjoy a really, really good cold shower. Mm-hmm. And when I'm in the shower, we call it the positive shower thoughts. You are alone in the bathroom, you're taking care of your business, you're making sure you are so clean. And a lot of positive thoughts come into my head wherein I say, okay, out of the 40 things on my to-do list, what are the top 3 things I want to achieve today? Not all 40 get done. Mm-hmm. So the top 3 will come into my mind and say, yep, these are the top 3 I need to get done. And boom, I'm laser focused on achieving those top 3. But while you are there in the bathroom, there's no mobile phone, there's no notification. Right. Both the hands are busy. You're not doing anything else. Therefore, the positive thoughts come in, and I extend that positive thoughts time to my shaving stuff. Again, both hands are busy in front of the mirror. You're thinking business. You're being very, very careful not to cut yourself. And guess what? Again, more positive thoughts come into the brain. So that's why it's almost like therapeutic for me when I'm shaving or when I'm in the bathroom cleaning myself. And then the same thing for cooking. Both hands are busy. There's no such thing as, I got my phone in one hand and doing stuff. No, you can't do that.
Right. Are you like me? You have like a physical ritual in the way that you unscrew the razor and load the blade? And
Totally.
It's very meditative in the repetition of movement for me.
Very, very meditative. Very, also you make sure that you're aligning everything right. You're not cutting yourself. You're handling things slowly. You are pacing yourself slow before the workday starts. I shave in the morning. So it's all very, very therapeutic. It's all very, very Zen-like. And, you are right. We need to ask the whole world to shave this way because, it will probably make the world a better place. Less angry, more positive-minded, when you start out the day. Yeah. And same thing with cooking. And in cooking, I do not follow a recipe. I just make sure. So first of all, I hate the cup measurements. I don't do volumes. I go by the weight. 90% of the recipes, you are okay with the cup measurement, 1 cup of this, 1 cup of that. Whereas when you're baking, it goes by weight. You can mess with like a bread or, it goes by weight. You can do 1 cup of flour and 2 cups of water.
Right. Like perfuming too.
Yeah, like perfuming. It's basically by weight. So again, it's therapeutic for me. And of course, I improvise a lot. I basically take a recipe and say, you know what, I think I can do this better. And I combine the ingredients and make sure I add some exotic stuff. I have a bunch of ingredients that I can show you, but that one helps me, get my own thinking process in mind. Again, therapeutic, both hands busy, no phone, no notification. I don't answer my phone during that time. Therefore, it's again makes me focused and also come out with a better end product because in a food, the sum of the ingredients is the greater than the part. The end product is greater than the sum of the ingredients.
Right.
So So again, I improvise. My dish that I made 6 months ago will not taste the same thing. Why? Because I changed the formulation, changed the ingredients, changed the makeup, added something, or did not add something. So that's what happened.
Got it.
Right.
So I'm guessing you do consider yourself a wet shaving hobbyist, but if that brought you in, was there other artisans that you had before you started Holy Caw that you
It
used?
sounds like Holy Cow was one of the very first.
Right. If you were practicing your own, or
I was practicing my own a lot, and then also tried some European products. I don't know if they are still in business. There's a brand called Kalani, Calani, out of
I've run
Germany.
across that.
okay.
Out of Germany. I did buy their products back then, and for some reason I can't find them anymore. Maybe they are not in the business. But Kalani, they come out in the tiny round, product,
Right.
and that's what I used to use at that time too. But it's basically kind of like benchmarking my own stuff against others.
Yeah.
And and that's where I started asking the right questions to cosmetic chemist. And they, in fact, came up with the idea, okay, why don't we add donkey milk, for instance, or,
Yeah.
or the whey protein? So by asking the right questions, or, it's not one question, it's probably the same question. I rephrase it, 5 different ways. And that's how I get some insightful answers from the experts. Because the experts know so much, and they have forgotten most of it, more than what I'm learning. Right. So that's why it's important to reframe and refocus the question 5 different ways to get the more insightful answer in my mind.
Right. Now, you have called yourself an ingredient nerd, and I love that. I also think that one of the things that makes you a great perfumer is that most of the food you've said that you like to cook is not from your home country, it's from other places.
Yes.
So what are your favorite kinds of food to cook?
Well, I pick up a lot of recipes from the French and also Mediterranean.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff I just pick it up and say, how can I make this better? Or how, if I leave out one ingredient, what will happen? Like, for example, a classic example is shakshuka, right? When the shakshuka base that's a key for that. When you see shakshuka, the picture, there's a lot of eggs on top, but the eggs is added the last. But if I don't add the eggs, I still get a good dish. It's not really shakshuka, but I'm 95% there. So you can do various base for the shakshuka and not do the eggs. So therefore, now you have a different dish.
Right.
Yes. So like that, I do the same thing. I pick up a lot of stuff from the Greeks, and they have fantastic dishes like some of these pastries that they have, or the desserts using orange juice and semolina. I don't have the names in front of me, but those are really, really good. Once you get it done, and you can, instead of sugar, you can add honey, or instead of walnut, you can add pistachio. You get a different dish.
Right.
And different taste, everything different. Same thing for the guacamole. I would add the crushed garlic, but instead of crushed garlic, I have a ginger garlic paste, and boom, it gives you a different flavor profile.
Right.
The ginger and the garlic gives you a different flavor profile.
Okay.
Same thing. I just roasted 3-4 different varieties of lentils. All of them different colors, and roasted them, and then added some spices to it. Just blended them. Now I have a powder that I just add hot water, and I have a soup now.
Right.
Oh wow, that's very cool.
Protein-rich soup. I just did that 2-3 days ago.
Wow.
So stuff like that, keeps my mind going, keeps me thinking, and of course, as I said, therapeutic. Both hands busy.
Right.
You're not looking at the mobile phone and doom scrolling at all.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into that little loophole. So, why is delicious cheese, a byproduct of your soap making, or is it still for one of your bases?
Well, I do add the cheese for my base. More than the cheese, I have just something I can show you. I'm not going to dip my finger, but this is basically the creme fraiche that we do. So it looks like this. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very thick.
When you make your whey protein, isn't cheese a kind of a byproduct of the process?
Yes, cheese is the byproduct of the process. In whey protein, or even the creme fraiche, because when I get the cream, the heavy cream, it's not this thick, but now it's more like a cheese. It's like a cottage.
Gotcha, right.
Cottage cheese. It's not butter-like texture, but more like a cottage cheese now.
Okay.
So you do get the cheese on the side, but the whey protein is what, because it's liquid, it's easy to blend. And and it's also got the lactic acid inside there. So that also gives you the benefit of, the lactic acid is very, very good for the skin. It's kind of acts like an exfoliator. And of course, it's really good, really nourishing for the skin. So yeah, this is the creme fraiche. This is fermented for 48 hours.
Okay. 48
And
hours.
it's almost cheese-like, cottage cheese-like. It's not, it's crumbling, but it's cottage cheese-like now. So this is the fermented cream, fermented for the cream, heavy cream, fermented for 48 hours, with all kinds of bacteria in there that makes this product. And this you can add to the product. Then I started getting into Ayurveda, which is basically you take some plants and the roots and the bark and the stems and the leaves and the flowers and all the plant material, the leaves, and come up with certain extracts or oils. And this is from, I think this is saffron.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, this is saffron.
Look how yellow that is.
I know, right? It's kind of golden.
Yeah, it's golden.
Wow.
So this has got saffron. I believe it's got a little bit of licorice, but saffron is the primary ingredient. That's why the color is golden.
Oh, wow. Do you use that in your soap bases, or is that more for some of the more skin care stuff?
So this is more for the skincare stuff. I'm coming out with some Ayurvedic line very, very soon. And this is primarily can be used for the skincare. Let's say the pre-shave or even post-shave. You can easily use this because it's got a lot of antioxidants, the catechins that we call it, all of that is in there, saffron. And this is another one from, it's called the Centella asiatica.
Wow.
Yeah, Centella asiatica. But
Super dark.
this is more for the hair.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow. It's like a resin.
Yeah, it's like a resin. Exactly right. So this is more for the hair. It's called, I think it's called Bringaraj or Brahmi. Brahmi is basically Centella asiatica. But this is all coming from the traditional medicine Ayurveda, which is in existence for 3,000 plus years.
Wow.
So, yeah, stuff like that. I keep experimenting, keep tinkering, figuring out, hey, what is it that we can do to add more of the post-shave moisturization to the skin after the shave? And that is why I'm dabbling in all of these things. So those are the bunch of things that I always tinker. I don't rest. I'm never happy with what I do. But there's always another iteration that is going on in the backbench. I may not see the light of the production because, there's only so much I can do. But it's always like this, I need that mental thinking going to me going.
Now, you're one of the artisans that offers his soaps in a few different bases. Can you walk us through your 3 different bases and what their benefits are?
Yes. So the vegan base is it doesn't contain any animal ingredients, including it doesn't contain any of the milk. Because, some people add milk to the vegan base, but that's not really vegan. It becomes more like a vegetarian.
Right.
So we stuck with the vegan without the addition of any animal derived ingredients, no tallow, no milks, no butters, no anything. Well, no animal butter. Right. And that has become the mainstay for a lot of people, including we signed up a grocery store in California on Marin County. They wanted to carry only vegan.
We just got married in Marin County. We will go over there and buy one and send you a.
Yeah, so it's as soon as you cross the bridge, it's on I think it's called Fairfax. It's right on the left-hand side. It's right there. So they start.
That's fun.
Yeah, they want to carry only vegan, and they also insist on certain ingredient profile. And we met with their, the people who approved the batch, and we did that. So that's a vegan line that is still there. We offer vegan in most of the sense, and the second line is the Zero that we introduced. The Zero is I should say Buffalo before the Zero. Buffalo is again contains tallow. It's donkey milk, water buffalo milk, and water buffalo milk is more thicker than regular the donkey milk, and therefore it also gives you much more creamier profile to the lather. And that we introduced, I don't know, maybe 2017 or something like that. And from there we started, and again, we started with the whey protein because it contains lactic acid coming from the fermentation process. And that's how we landed on the zero. And zero is probably number one seller for us. Even if you offer creme fraiche at a lower price, people prefer the zero. So
Okay.
so that's going on. And then lastly, we introduced the creme fraiche, which is basically the fermented cream, which I just showed you, wherein we take the heavy cream and ferment it for 48 hours. And what we get is this crumbly texture of it's not butter, but almost butter-like, because if I dip my hand in there, I can feel the buttery sensation on my fingertips.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Yeah, so that's what this is all about.
Yeah, very cool. That's surprising that the vegan base is the most popular.
Right, that one is, your longest standing, I guess, maybe.
It's long-standing. People want to have the vegan in most of the sense, and we just offer it to them. So it also means that there's a lot of work involved, because for every product we need 4 different set of labels. Yeah, so that makes it a challenge. So it's always a scramble to get the labels right, because you need a top label and a side label, or a bottom label. And that makes it challenging, because now every line, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to show some of my favorites.
Well, this one has the side label to show that one too. So that's the front and a side and a bottom. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yes, and
Love these labels.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's the 3-base story, or 3 or 4-base story. Yep.
Right.
Yes, chaos is really good. It's really, really popular.
Oh, so good.
So by the way, guys, I don't know if we announced that there is a discount code open, and
Thank you.
discount code open for people who are watching, people who are listening. The discount code is Barbershop Duet, and just go there, and it's open. It's live and active for people to take it.
Oh, thanks, y'all. Hey, head over to Holy Call. Use discount code Barbershop Duet. Thank you so much. That's very kind.
Awesome.
We might suggest this might be my favorite.
It was our first,
This
so
might.
that just has that mark.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So if you knew a brand new soap maker coming out of the box, what advice would you give him?
I would give that, keep welcome to the fold. But we want the competition, number one. Number two, keep your mind open, keep expanding. Don't stick to the old formulation that everybody else is doing, including us. We can always learn some new tricks. If you're a new kid on the block, your canvas is wide open, unlike us, right? For us or any other established brand, it's hard to make changes now. Like if you ask me to change the label, well, what do we do with the find the labels that are lying out there?
Right.
Or if you want to introduce a new scent, well, the label development is another one. So if there's a new brand, somebody is coming on, new kid on the block, keep your mind open. You've got more freedom than people like us, because for us, it changes, can get harder. Especially as you grow, change becomes a lot more harder than for a newcomer. So keep the mind open, and don't rely on the same old base and same old tricks. There is always probably I can name a dozen materials that that person can experiment with and come up with a better product.
So is that part of the fun part for you for making soap, like being able to be
an ingredient nerd?
Does that keep it fun over all these years?
No, it keeps me fun. It keeps it a lot of fun, because now we have an ingredient database wherein we can look up any kind of, like if you show me your mascara, for instance, we can dig deep into the ingredients and tell you, hey, this is why it is there, or this is why it can be made better. Stuff like that. We have we don't get not just the ingredient database. We also have the safety data sheet, the certificate of analysis, the declarations like vegan, kosher, halal, then clinical studies, before after pictures, day 1 versus day 28 pictures, before after, and placebo versus control. All kinds of data is available for each of the ingredients that we deal with.
Wow.
That's very cool.
That is very cool.
What size are your batches? Are they different depending on the base for soap?
Yeah, so they are different for each basis. Because we have different bases, including the vegan. We just based on the demand, we just say, okay, this one can be made in a small, medium, large kind of thing. So we have 3 different setups to do this, and that's how we do it. So they are all different.
Okay, no, that's very.
We're kind of curious about how the artisans do what they do. Can we ask you, what's the biggest piece of equipment you have, and what does it do?
Well, the biggest piece of equipment is more like think of it like a giant drum, 55-gallon drum that we use to melt the oils. And yeah, that 50-gallon drum, you need, well, it's more than 55 gallon, but it's basically that it's used to melt the oils. And it's all electric. So it's no long, it's not like, it's not an induction stove top or anything like that. So it's all electric. It's just an electric jacket that goes around, and that keeps it warm, not too hot. And that's what we use. So, and that means you need 3 or 4 because there are 3 different bases.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
for the vegan, you cannot have tallow inside. So you got to have.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
And then because we use these, huge gallons, and of course we also stock alcohol that also comes in drum quantity. There is a fire inspection every month. We got to submit a report to the fire department, the local township fire department, and they can come in and inspect any time, inspect the fire extinguishers and all of that. And that's another process that we need to go through. And it's not like we pass the inspection every time. And they will also ask us to buy I don't know what it's called, commercial cables. So it's not your regular cables. It's more like a commercial. It costs $55 for one cable. So every electrical equipment that you operate, you got to have that $55 cable. Without that, you don't pass fire inspection.
Wow.
So stuff like that happens. But that's the cost of doing business now.
Right. Well, and at least it's going to keep you safe. So they're on it. So that's good.
Right.
Could you walk us through your whole product line? So we kind of are going through the soaps and the bases. Now there's other stuff besides that.
And there's new things coming up.
Yes, there's some new things as well.
Yeah. So what else do you have besides the soaps and the balms?
So soaps and the balms, and we have, of course, the splashes which contain alcohol, and that's why we need the alcohol to, we buy the alcohol with a permit from TTB, which is the Tobacco Control Bureau. And then we also have skincare product. Well, deodorants. Deodorants is a good way to expand our audience, our customer base, because we get the people with beards, we get the women to buy the deodorant. It's got great reviews and listed on Amazon too, because Amazon also is a good way to expand the customer base.
Yeah, we have an Amazon question coming up. Yeah, good.
Yeah. So deodorant is one. Again, the deodorant is like, going back to the ingredient nerd question. The way we develop the deodorant is that, the sweat that is forming on your forehead after, let's say, a workout, it doesn't stink. It doesn't stink. It's salty, but it's more watery. It doesn't really stink.
Right.
Whereas the sweat on my armpit, it is not watery, but it stinks a lot because there is bacteria hiding in the dark places, So because the bacteria is hiding in the dark places, the first goal is to kill the bacteria for a deodorant.
Right.
So if there is bacteria in your armpits, well, I need to find a way to kill the bacteria or neutralize the bacteria. And then once the bacteria is killed, therefore the stink is gone, but I still want to smell good, which is the perfume.
Yeah.
So the scent aspect. So that's a 2-step approach we took for the development of the deodorant. And again, I didn't do it myself. I just did the talking to the cosmetic chemist, and boom, we got a product that does the job to kill the bacteria using green tea actives. And secondly, the perfume, which is pretty straightforward.
Right. Is it antiperspirant and deodorant, or is it just deodorant?
Just a deodorant. It's not an antiperspirant. If it is an antiperspirant, that becomes an OTC, and that requires special labeling. FDA.
I don't like antiperspirants. I think they work for the first few weeks, but I think your body adjusts, and then weird things happen.
That's correct. It also contains the aluminum, and the deodorant that we have doesn't contain the aluminum, and no baking soda, no oil, no baking soda, no aluminum. Therefore, it's very, very natural and contains green tea actives. Which actually does the job to kill the bacteria. So we have the this deodorant. Then we also have skincare products. Again, 2 of them we developed in Germany with a lab in Germany, because they have the ingredient called ectoin, ECTOIN. So ectoin is basically, if you really think about it, if you go deep sea, deep below the sea, it's all super dark. After you reach, let's say, 30 meters, it's all super, super dark. But even in the darkness where there is no sun, there is these extremophiles, the organisms that survive in extreme conditions.
Yeah.
So how do they survive? Well, there is the scientists, not me. I'm not a scientist. I'm nothing, right? the scientists basically found out that there are these nutrients that keep these organisms alive. What are those nutrients? Well, that's called ectoin. They came up with the name ECTOI. So the German lab said, hey, we can give you products that contains ectoin that comes from these extremophiles, synthetically developed in a tank. Therefore, you're not killing those little thingies. And it makes it vegan. And can we do that? I said, fine. So they developed 2 other products for us.
Wow. Cool.
Including an under-eye cream. So that's one. Yes. The other thing that I just came up with is tallow cream, body cream.
Ah, yes.
Nice.
That looks like this. This tallow body cream, it contains grass-fed tallow. This is my sample, by the way. That's why it looks beat up. It contains grass-fed tallow.
Wow. And this is on your website now, right? So you have to look? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the website. Take advantage of the discount. Barbershop Duet. So it contains grass-fed tallow and shea butter and carrot oil and also red raspberry oil. That is there. That is also introduced in Amazon. I don't know. We got about 30-something 5-star reviews in there.
Hey, good.
So that's that. Again, it comes in a glass jar, so it's not plastic.
Okay, good.
That also helps us expand the audience that we do. Then we introduced the calamine soap. This again is is for my use, so it looks beat up.
Yeah.
Calamine soap. This contains organic ghee, clarified butter.
Right.
Clarified butter and calamine. This is also on the website. And it's also got a few, probably 20, 25 reviews on that now.
Nice.
Yes. And then lastly, we'll be introducing, this is on the website. Not many reviews yet. This is again, it's a unscented organic ghee and tallow soap. It's clarified butter. Not cultured butter, but clarified butter. So this is also on this side. Then this is it's still under development. This is sea buckthorn soap.
Wow.
Sea buckthorn and
what is it called?
CSEABUCKTHORN.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
it's a new thing.
Yeah, really.
The raw ingredient smells really bad, so we found ways to get rid of that smell, deodorize that whole thing, and that's how this looks like. Even this, the tallow cream, it doesn't smell of any. There's no meaty smell. There's no beefy smell because it's all deodorized grass-fed tallow.
Okay.
Great.
And so the sea buckthorn, and another one this is a mugwort soap. This is more for acne. Oil control, and this is again my sample, so that's why it looks.
But those are all the natural colors because of what you put in it, right?
Totally natural. I mean, I can easily add this to this, and
I was going to say, I bet that's got the saffron in it. Yeah,
right. The saffron extract to this, easy. That's the easiest part. So that's why I'm more doing the research on the post shave stuff or post. Once you use a product, you shouldn't leave the skin dry. How do we do that? That's what I'm always focused on. That's why I'm playing around with these ingredients.
Love it.
So let's talk about perfuming. Let's talk about what we talk about on our show. What were your first few scents, and how did you ever choose them?
Well, perfume is not like I sit on a chemistry chartboard and do it because it more comes from your life experiences, your memories, your knowledge of what you have been through in your lifetime, right? So, for instance, there is always something like deconstructing the memory. When I was walking with holding the hand of my grandfather in a orange mango grove, what are the smells I was getting?
Yeah.
What are the things that everyday thing that you do, right? Whether it's cooking, whether it's smelling a coffee. There is always something that is triggering because the receptors in your nose straight goes to the emotional part of the brain, which is the amygdala.
Right.
So, and this thing changes every time because there are 4 trillion receptors that can change. So that's why what you smell 6 months ago will be so different when you smell it now today.
Right.
So every day deconstructing a memory of your childhood days, or walking with your grandfather or something triggers something in my mind saying that, hey, this is something that I need to do. The other one is that history plays a big role to me, at least for me. Like, for instance, I would always think, hey, what would modern day Genghis Khan, if he's alive today, walking on the
Oh,
earth,
I love that. Okay.
walking on the earth, but in New York City, what will he wear? That modern Genghis Khan guy, who might shake his hand. Yes.
What would Louis wear? Right.
Oh, yes. What will he wear? He's got a personality that is defined by history, that's defined by everything that he did. Lots of them bad things, of course. But what do you think? What is Genghis Khan would wear in the 21st century? So those are the things that trigger certain ideas in my mind before I jump into, okay, what are the specific elements that I need to get into to get that Genghis Khan guy into the form of a perfume. So character profiles, history plays a big role. I'm a big fan of history. I read a lot about history because that's something that I never learned in school. So, and history always, has got a habit of rhyming, right? It doesn't, it may not repeat itself 100%, but it has got a habit of rhyming and rhyming and rhyming every time.
Right.
So the more I learn history, the more I understand everything else that is happening in the world.
I think you nailed why this is my favorite. We live here in California. We can see the Golden Gate Bridge from our window. Yep. But I spend all day training people how to sing Broadway music, and it's my favorite place in the world. And when I first went to New York, I walked into Studio 54. It's a theater now, and just talk about history of New York. Studio 54 is kind of where it's at, and this smells. I don't know, Sri, if this is exactly how that theater lobby smelled. But this smells how that made me feel. Excellent. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
And it's not a California smell at all.
No.
This is the lounges, this is the churches, this is the theaters, this is the lobbies, this is New York City.
Just that awe of walking in.
And again, it doesn't need to be exact. It needs to make you feel like New York because you're there every day. And, that's right. And this is what New York feels like.
Yep. Exactly what you're describing is a deconstructing of a memory.
Right.
Once you deconstruct the memory, and it reminds you of that, right? Like, you don't need to taste your mother's, apple pie to get that memory of the apple pie. When you think about the mother's apple pie, you know that, even if you don't taste it now, you can still get the taste in your memory.
Right. So, what was your first scent? Do you remember?
The first one was For You Bouquet back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Cool. What's your bestseller?
Bestseller is King of Foods.
King of Food.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one to look forward to.
That's a bestseller. That's a bestseller.
If you use our discount code after this is over, and we'll go get King of Food. That's one of my favorite labels. That purple color is just
very
gorgeous.
Nice,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, some of the recent introductions, we don't have enough time to say it's a bestseller or selling well, but King of Food was introduced probably in 2018, I believe, and ever since it's been a bestseller. Right. The other bestseller, which probably we can jump into the Amazon question if you have, is the Unscented Sorbet Zero in Amazon. Now, I have no idea. I have no clue why. It beat the bejesus out of me. Why there's a separate, different plant on Amazon where people, they are not on no forums, they are not veg shavers, and they buy the unscented a lot.
Interesting.
A lot.
Huh.
Yeah, they're not watching you and me now. No.
Right.
But they buy the unscented in Amazon only.
Right. Yeah,
it's a different plant.
Right. When we talk to a lot of the artisans, they'll say, "Yeah, most of our customers aren't in the community. We just don't know who they are."
That's right. We don't know. Yeah, and we get new names. We get new names every month of people who they place one order, and then they kill the tub before they come. And they don't, they're not hoarders, they're not habitual buyers, they're not hobbies, but
they're not collectors, they just ship.
Right.
Yep.
Wow.
I think that's encouraging.
It is.
I think that's your ideal customer because I think there's 20 of them for every one of us.
That's correct.
It's just we have a question coming up too, but how do we find them? How do we convince them? Because it's kind of a private ritual. It's kind of weird to walk up to somebody and say, have you ever thought about wet shaving? There's got to be a way.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way.
That's a party pooper, talking about wet shaving into by strangers. No, we don't want to do that.
Don't you want to wear like a holy cow shirt to Disneyland and see who comes up to you?
I'd be so curious. Even the airport, you know. Yeah, I'd be so curious to see who out of all of the people walking by that would notice.
So we've noticed that our sense of scent can be rather easily fooled or manipulated. Is there anything about the sense of scent that you've learned that surprised you?
It's this guy, this is poorly trained, right? We train our eyes really well because we see so many things, and so the eyes is trained right from a child, when you are 5 years old, because you see so many things. You travel to a different country, you see different things. Therefore, the eyes are trained. Same thing with the ear, because you hear different noises, different sounds, different music. Again, that is trained. Same thing with the mouth, the taste, because we eat different kinds of food. This is the one that we don't train it very well. Why? Right. Because, when we smell a glass of water, well, it doesn't smell like anything, right? So, it's poorly trained. But once you start, consciously training the nose, that's when you realize, hey, you know what? There's a bigger world out there for smells. Mm-hmm. And the smells that you like today, you may not like it 1 year later or 6 months later, or it'll probably give a different profile. So that also expands your world about thinking about, okay, if I add, ocean, well, there's no smell to the ocean, right? Well, now there's a smell, a seaweed, ocean, the breeze. Well, that expands your profile now, the scent profile. So that's something that I learned, and it's helping me a lot.
That we noticed too at the beginning, like ones that you would, really fall for right away. And then 2 years in, you go back to it and it still has a good memory to it. But ones that you're not expecting almost over time, then you start to like those. Like they almost flip and rotate where your scent goes.
Right. Yeah. Ones that I've been crazy about on the show. One of them was Shadow Orchid from Sterling. I just remember being over the moon for it when we shot it, my first impression. But after a year and a half or so, I still love it. I still wore it the other night, actually. But it doesn't really hit me the same way. Now, out of 700, that's one of the only ones that kind of changed on me a little bit. Mm-hmm. But what does happen more often is I will end up loving it a lot more. That's way more common. Mm-hmm. True. Because I generally come to appreciate, or like you said, your nose starts to understand new scent notes like oud or civet or things like that. And then they understand what that perfumer was really doing. Inside of that blend, Yeah.
Did you ever see yourself ending up in this product, or, business? Like growing up, were there any signs about scent or things that you did that would have kind of looking back that you see how you ended up here?
Did your mom know you might have been a perfumer someday?
No, nobody. Everybody's surprised that I ended up in this.
Love it. Okay.
Totally. It's not like it's not like I designed everything by it all happened by design. No, it all just happened. It's evolved, and now here I am, 12 years later.
Love that. So it just total surprise to you as well.
Yeah. Can you tell us? Yeah, can you tell us the good and bad parts about selling on Amazon?
Well, I can start with the bad parts. Because the good parts, a lot of people know it. The bad part is that, so everybody knows Amazon has got great customer service for a buyer. You are buying, you're not happy with the product, you can return it, you can get your money back. There are, probably 10 different ways where you are made whole, all of that. Right. So, and Amazon is known for excellent customer service for the buyer. Mm-hmm. At the seller, it's the opposite. It's worse than worse. The seller support that they have, it is deliberately designed in such a way that you will end up running in circles. Literally, the best way I can explain to you is, let's say you have an electrical issue and you call the electrician. Hey, electrician, your friendly neighborhood electrician, he comes around and he says, yeah, I think I can fix it. And what's the issue? Oh, let me fix it. And while he's doing the job, you turn your back and you go somewhere else. You do your errand and come back. This guy is now fiddling with the kitchen faucet. Hey, no, you're not a plumber. You're not supposed to touch it. You're an electrician. That's how I knew you. Right. This is the problem. That's what Amazon does. You talk about problem A, they try to solve problem B, which it is not broken yet. It is not a problem, but that's how they do it. So there are ways to work around that, and that I figured after getting this experience for 1 year or more. Mm-hmm. So that's a bad part. Seller support is really bad. The other part is that now they have all kinds of systems that trigger a word in a product, just in a 2,000 word description of the product. One word will make the product into a pesticide. Hey, I'm selling this phone. I'm selling this phone, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is a pesticide now on Amazon systems. How do I convince Amazon that this is not a pesticide? That takes 2 weeks. Literally takes 2 weeks. But once you just once you passed all these problems, then it's cruise control.
Okay.
It makes sense.
But that's funny you said that, because I have these greeting cards that I get from my dad, and I send them to Idaho, and Amazon switched them from stationery to vegetables, and now you have to buy them through Amazon Fresh because it thinks they're a vegetable.
Yeah.
I was like,
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Just some
That
robot
kind of
switched
thing.
it, and now
Every single product that we are listing on Amazon, like this one, the calamine soap, this was a pesticide when it hit Amazon first.
wow.
This was a pesticide. How do I convince somebody that this is not a pesticide now?
It's the total opposite,
Right,
which
right.
is but okay.
And because now it is classified as a pesticide, and I don't have approvals to sell pesticide, I'm in violation of 30 different things. It's 30 count violation. I solved the pesticide violation then I had to take care of the 29 other violations.
Right. So all the stuff
man.
that you're doing just to
Right.
get your stuff on Amazon. So it's not the easiest, it sounds
It's not
like,
easy.
to get your stuff out.
Right.
It's not easy. If somebody told you that you can have a side hustle on Amazon, while having a 9 to 5 job, well, then that person is misleading. It's misleading you. It's bad advice. Amazon is a 24-hour job, number one. Amazon will come up with all these issues that I talked about, and there is no seller support. You got to find your way in that jungle, and it's always a pain. There's always an Amazon issue open on our to-do list, and it's never ends. But once you get past all that, then it's if you get the customers, then it just keeps going.
So stay off of Amazon with Pat. Go to holycod.com.
There you go.
Way better. So let me ask you, I have heard that this might be a bit of an homage to a scent that Tom Ford came up with. When you do homages, do you do a straight homage, or do you make some adjustments?
I've got to make adjustments, right? Because you can never get it right. You can never get it right. If I'm saying that I got it right, well, I'm lying. I'm not being honest with you, but you can never get it right, because there is always some captive material or some super expensive material from a Tom Ford
or a tiny accord that's 1%.
Yeah, tiny 1%, you can never get it right. So there is always, probably just about there, 80% there, not even 90%, probably 80% there, and you go with it. The captives are super expensive, and you can never get them, number one, or you can never get them. The other one is that, some of these naturals will be very, very expensive. And if somebody says, like, for instance, very simple flavor is lavender, right? Or fragrance is lavender.
Right.
Now, lavender, the commercial lavender, which is called lavender 4042, that's most everybody uses, which is the right thing. But there's always a lavender with the same inky, same name, which will say lavender 4042, but it's made in China now, and that smells bad. It doesn't smell bad, but it's got a different fragrance profile, scent profile.
Right.
Same thing, the lavender from Hungary that was, cultivated, let's say, in 2022. Well, that smells different. Why? 2022, they had some snow, heavy snow that didn't work very well.
Right.
Some stupid shit like that. So the lavender,
like the cardamom crop failed last year, so cardamom got way different.
Right.
Yeah, cardamom. I got better ideas on cardamom, which I'm also using it in food. Wherein I got it's not the cardamom pod. Cardamom pod. The problem with cardamom pod is that it's you cannot bite it, you cannot chew it. It doesn't mash. Right. Yeah, when you buy the cardamom pod, it stays like a pod, and it's like you cannot swallow it either. So you take it out and throw it away. But I got this cardamom resin. That is, they take 100 kgs of cardamom and come up with, let's say, 45 kgs of the resin. So it's got all the components of the cardamom, but now it's a resin, like this black liquid.
Okay.
So I can use one drop, and get the same flavor profile, the aroma, everything comes through with just one drop.
Okay, very cool.
Gotcha. Yeah, we were actually really thrilled. Where to go? That Cola Bliss was not a Coca-Cola Accord. Yeah. There is so much going on.
Yes, there's so much in there.
Our godson gets a little snickerdoodle in there too.
Yeah, all the spices going on.
Oh, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that's the other reason we love your perfuming is that even though we might have smelled the original, I think what you're doing might be better on some of these. No, especially this one. I think I have figured out the ones that you're homaging with this, but this is so much better.
Yeah.
This is so much better.
It becomes better.
You did to that what Rod and Mandy did for Tobacco Vanilla with Haverford. I think Haverford's better, and so do most of our viewers right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I love that y'all can sort of, well, like you say with cooking, that you kind of take an ingredient, a recipe that you know, but you're going to do it your own way.
I do it my own way. It's really the cardamom example I gave you. That's exactly what I do, because when you really, in food, you really eat it with your eyes first, because the presentation, the plating matters.
Right.
When you eat it with eyes first, and then you take a spoon, take the food and bring it to your mouth. But when you bring it to your mouth, the nose is the one that is hitting the food first. So the aroma of the cardamom gets to you. So you're almost, your brain is already said, this is going to be good. And then you eat it, and that's where the taste buds kick in. So you eat food in 3 different ways. So that's where I get some of these ideas. I'm like, how do I get rid of this cardamom or the black pepper? Black pepper also is, it's like a little granule. You can powder it, no doubt, but better than that, better than the powder, I have this resin that I can just add 1 drop. That 1 drop is done. I don't have to think about it.
Yeah. So I know we kind of touched on this a little bit, but what's the biggest obstacle getting people into wet shaving?
Yeah. How do we get more people into it?
Or is there a first product that you would give them out of your line? Like, getting people
Yeah,
in?
that's a good question. What would, if a newbie was coming to Holy Call for the first time, what would you suggest?
Well, I think Sarah's question is much more. I will probably do that first, Marcus.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So the question is more about how do you get a person who is not into wet shaving, right? So it's wet shaving is a process. We all know this now. Therefore, it's super hard to convince anybody to say, hey, instead of spending with your plastic razor 1 minute, can you spend 5 minutes?
Right.
It's not easy to convince. So we basically do the things saying that, hey, we have the tallow product, the body cream. Why did you start using it? So it's not a wet shaving product yet, but you get the benefits of the tallow for your body.
You can feel it. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Feel it, especially during winter season or dry season.
Right.
When the air is super dry, when there's a lack of humidity. So you get this, or that could be one, or the deodorant.
Ah, okay. Right.
Because deodorant is
just get your friends washing their face every night.
Even
just start there.
Right, you can start there. So deodorant is another way of slowly getting them into the brand. And once they get there, you can say, okay, wet shaving, what is that? You don't have to use a straight razor. You don't have to use a double-edged razor. You can still use your cartridge, but you use a better product to get the lather. Right. And that better product is one of the products. So we can use the unscented products. That's how we get started. To coming to Marcus's question, mostly the unscented product, because you still don't know what the every fragrance, including lavender, has got allergens. So So you don't want to hurt somebody's face or irritate somebody's face by giving them highly scented fragrance product like a Volvi. That'll probably turn them off of wet shaving. So you bring an unscented product, try it out. See how it is, do it for about 2-3 months, and then get them slowly upgrade to a scented product if they are. So that's my journey to get somebody into wet shaving and get them introduced to the brand.
Anyone who's worried about longevity, this is the first or second soap I ever bought. It was bought in the summer of 2023. I shaved with it 2 or 3 days ago, and it is still in absolutely pristine condition. So y'all, these last a long time, and the scent, I know it seems weird, but the scent might even have been a little more intense.
Yes,
after 3 years.
Somehow,
it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, are there any tips or tricks that you've learned about wet shaving that most of us don't know that you can pass along?
So cold shaving with cold water is really, really good.
I've heard rinse the blade with cold water, less irritation, right?
Cold water, again, when you want to wipe your extra lather, again, use a towel with cold water. That helps a lot. Especially now in the dry season, when the air is super dry, the cold water will keep your skin, not dry. That is number one. Number two, always, I don't need to use it, but people who got sensitive skin, you are better off using a pre-shave product. And for the pre-shave, and we got the pre-shave oil, and we also got a non-oil product that has got probably about 80% glycerin in there. and
Ah.
and
Right.
and the green tea ingredients and the green tea actives. So the
Okay.
glycerin and the green tea gets the people who are sensitive skin or people who want better prep. That really helps. So
Right.
that's number two. I mean, most of the people will say pre-shave is not necessary. That's because we are all really good in how we do the shaving.
True.
But
Yeah.
people who are noobs, people who are been using cartridge razors, pre-shave is a very very good first step.
Yeah.
Ah.
I
And the
still
other
use a
thing, of
pre-shave
course,
as a wash.
yeah, the other thing, of course, just use more product. If you think the lather is thin, just use more product. I mean, it's inexpensive. As you said,
Right.
this thing lasts forever.
Mhm.
Even if you use a single tub, a single tub will probably last for 8 months.
Right.
And that's pennies per shave. Just use a little bit more product. When I say more product, not a lot. Just
Right.
if you're soling 30 times, well, do sol 35 times.
Right.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to go broke because you sold the 5 more times.
Those
So,
last extra. Yeah.
Yeah, time is important. We have the new lather bowl from Ollieworks is a fabulous lather bowl, but you have to go at it for more than 2.5 minutes. Otherwise, you don't get anything. It's really funny, but
I
after
need
2.5
that.
minutes, you are in abundance.
Yeah.
I need to
So
try
yeah,
that.
it just takes time. Let's see. Now, forgive us, but we ask everybody this question:
We
have
do.
you ever seen a ghost?
No.
Okay.
Living in New York, you never know.
Right,
I
everyone-
You
don't
never know. I mean, I go to. I don't know if you're familiar with New York. There's a place called Sleepy Hollow.
Oh yeah,
It's on Westchester.
Tarrytown. Yes.
Yeah, near Tarrytown, exactly, near Westchester. So I have a couple of friends there, so I meet them. So there is always talk about Sleepy Hollow ghosts. So
Right.
it's a good time to joke about the whole ghost.
That's
I love
very
it.
cool.
See-
We have an air conditioner we had an old ancient air conditioner that we swear we could hear music in. And what's weird, Sri, is we could hear the same music. And I brought my cousin over and she said, clarinets? And I said, yeah. And it was not always the same thing.
It would
Well,
change.
we got a new air conditioner and it was fine for 2 years. Silent, dead silent. Now, I should probably also tell you that we live on the border of a cemetery.
Just do.
Dead silent.
That's right.
And a week ago, I heard a sound coming from it.
Ooh.
And I said, this is going to be weird, but I'm hearing something in the air conditioner today. And Sarah said, is it a woman singing? Because I'm hearing it too.
Okay.
And we hadn't heard it for 2 years. It had been silent.
Yeah,
So-
now we're hearing it.
I don't know if that counts as a ghost
Or
story.
we're just crazy. It's okay.
Right? Did you have any questions for us?
Yeah,
before we,
it is a conversation series. So
yeah,
we like
just
to ask.
if you want.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a question for you. So how did you guys get started with this whole Barbershop Duet? I mean, it's very, very original, very, very authentic.
It
And
is.
I like how you sing, Marcus. That's a very, very,
Thank you.
that's the best way to open the show. But how did you
thank
guys
you.
get into this? You guys burst into the scene and now you are a permanent fixture now.
We are.
Well, we're both performers from the time we were born. We have 70 years of stage experience between us.
I think
Do you
there's a
wanna go?
squirrel at the door.
Yeah, we're going to go take care of the squirrel. I have a San Francisco Bay Area Theater Critics Circle Award for Best Actor, and that's kind of what I did. Now I teach voice and stuff like that. But the real answer, Sri, is spite. I was a member of the Dollar Shave Club, and
Yep.
I got my cartridges every 2 weeks. Well, the handles started to break on me. The cartridges are fine, but they were reducing the quality of the handles themselves, and they were expensive. And I was buying a new handle every other month. And I called them and I said, y'all, can I get a free handle? I bought 6 in the last year. They keep breaking. And they said, nope, you have to buy them. So I bought 2 more. And then a week later, they released new handles and new cartridges. So the 2 I just bought were
Maybe
invalid,
defunct,
and they
yeah.
knew that. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go on and buy the damn Henson razor that I keep seeing on Facebook everywhere, and I'm going to buy that. And I've seen these guys like Mark Cerati and the Cross-Eyed Texan and some of these guys on YouTube, and they look like they're having a good time. And I got the Henson, and I realized, well, wait a minute, what's all these thousands?
Every video. They all
Thousands
had
of
these.
shaving soaps. I've never seen these. I've never heard of these. And I looked at her and I thought, I've always wanted to do a little YouTube show, but I hate the idea of being an influencer. I hate the idea of being paid for it. What if there was a little niche corner of the world where a bunch of really amazing people were making really amazing things and they needed light shined on them?
Right.
And you know, a lot of the guys, and we love them, or do the shaving, but you know, it was kind of hard for us in picking out the soaps to find in that half hour where they were talking about the scent itself.
So that fit our lane because it was new for both of us. It was something for us to do together.
Yeah.
Like the scent side interested both of us. We always used to have like candles and things around the house, but they never got like that scratch of the itch of the scent you wanted. They would get close, but they were all kind of the harmonica kind of version. It wasn't actually taking us to places.
So we thought it'd be fun to throw everything we know about production at a little show, but come at it as complete newbies who knew nothing about the world we were reporting on.
Just honest newbies, just experience with us kind of thing. So
the other secret answer that I don't tell everybody, but there are 12, 11, whoever just left,
it's all right.
You don't get to know. I have a family that's rather politically divided.
Uh-oh.
And they left California about 8 years ago. But the problem is my mom had Alzheimer's disease, and they took my mom with them.
Oh, my God.
And my sister went with them, and she hasn't talked to me since, and I don't know why. And I have these two little nieces that used to call me at 3 o'clock in the morning every night. And, you know, they were the crown jewel of my world. And I used to drive up to the mountains all the time to see them. And when my sister cut off contact, we thought, you know, if we are going to do this little show, it would be cool to throw in a lot of personal stuff and tell family stories and put pictures and things so that someday they might find it.
Even if they just Googled our names.
Even if they're in their 40s or 50s. So I've made sure that there's ways for them to find it. I've made sure that even if something happens to us, there's ways for them to find it someday. But it's just my little way to not only be with them, but be with all of our amazing friends in this community, Barry and Doug and Selena.
It's just taken off in a way I don't think we ever thought would happen.
So. It's taken off. It's really taken off. I'm glad. That's why I was, you know, I said I'm totally honored to be on your show in this, in a conversation with an artist, and I'm ready to do that. But I'm glad, Marcus, you are leaving those breadcrumbs for your family to find you. I guess for your sister to find you.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I notice is that a family is it's really hard to convince family if they are politically divided, like what you said. Really hard to convince family saying that this color is black. You know, they will probably say, no, this is kind of gray.
Right.
And they may be right because, you know, black can be gray. There are, 100 shades of gray between a white and a black. But if you're leaving those breadcrumbs in your online presence, well, they will one day find you because everybody is online, and they will probably know you better, from a different perspective. And of course, you got the benefit of the audience that is only saying good things about you and both of you, right? So that's a very, very good story about leaving those breadcrumbs. To get your family to know you better.
Right. And every single person that we have affected with our show has been so grateful because people like you give them that time back in their shave mirror without the cell phone, without the distractions. And I meditate. I know you meditate. It's a meditation. It's a physical meditation. And it's so important for our mental health. And I love that those that have discovered that have you to thank. Without these, I don't think my Henson would even know what to do. And
everyone we've met, there's just something honest about looking in your own eyes in the mirror, shaving, having that time of just being okay with yourself. And they're just that, it is a short amount of time, but it makes a big difference for the rest of the day. Like if either of us are like, it really makes everything else better. So I even the scent adventures and different things that we've had, like it's fun to get to know who's behind all of these scents and where they come from in the stories. Like they are your little art pieces that are like in those art gallery art den, So thank you for spending time making all of these scents and putting such care into your products for us.
And giving us a show to make and giving all of these wonderful friends of ours a time where they can just have these wonderful scents and have that wonderful time to themselves. Even Doug Lane's got, I think, 5-6 kids going on, and he shaves twice a day, Sri. He shaves twice a day.
Because he needs that time.
He gets. Right.
He needs that time.
He passes in the morning. Right. But and it's people like you, and it's this hobby, and it's all these amazing friends that we've made. Most of whom are watching. Then they should be the football game right now, but they'll be watching it on YouTube when we port it back over. And we've just made some of the best friends we've ever made in our lives, on this show. And so we're just so grateful to everybody for letting us come in your living rooms and be silly for a couple of days a week. And and we just have the best time. So I hope maybe we can do this again next year.
Anytime you guys are ready, feel free to call me. I'll be honored to step into your show.
Oh, that'd be fabulous. And just for tonight, not for the YouTube audience, but because that'll be a few months from now, but here on Instagram, the Barbershop Duet is a discount code very generously offered by Sri if you'd like to go over to Holy Cod tonight and check out a few things and let us know what you get with Pac if you happen to pick up some things. And we need to know what to get next.
We've heard King of Oud. That should be one of our next ones. So
100%. All right, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. And we'll see you in our next one. We've got Noble Otter coming up.
We do.
We've got Katie's Bubbles. We've got First Line Shave, Strike Gold Shave, Vanulay. It's going to be a fun year. All right, my friend. Hey, it was so nice to meet you in person.
Nice to officially meet.
I absolutely adore you. I think you're one of the cutest people I have ever met in my life.
One day we'll make it out to
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you. Guys
I love how smart you are. And I love how impassioned you are about all of these things.
It helps get us excited to see how things work.
It helps me understand these even better. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye. Good night. Thanks.